And we're live. Hi everyone, this is MH Gamer, and I'll be returning Civ 5 Vox Populi. Yeah, at this point, these are basically just my updates regarding, I forgot stuff. Yeah, at this point, these are basically just my updates on my mod. I probably won't be doing any complete, what do you call it? I probably won't be doing complete games for quite a while. Is the game gonna crash on me? Yeah, I totally forgot to turn that off. So I have the whole map showing up because it's very useful when it comes to doing various tests and stuff. But sometimes I forget. So yeah, this new update is definitely gonna be my last update before 2022. Like, there's just no way for me to. I mean, there is a way if I really push for it, but I actually want. Actually, the next one is gonna be interesting. I still haven't decided on how I'm gonna approach it. Oh, look at that. Honestly, I will move over. Is that not a marsh? Oh, that's just grassland. I could go to the coast. Let's just settle. So yeah, warriors are more expensive now, so they aren't crazy. You won't be spamming them. That's one of the things I wanted to change. That was, yeah. I love the king. Man, you grow a lot. So yeah, where do I begin? Okay, so for the Enlightenment era, I have tweaked the numbers. So all of these should be kind of in line. I mean, part of the thing is because I do these by themselves, eventually I'll have to have like a complete look and probably adjust the numbers further if necessary. But yeah, my next update, the plan is I will have a modified. So I've already have these mods made, but I need to modify them, change numbers. So there's gonna be a modified industrial era. I mean, that's already gonna happen. But as opposed to in the past, I just tweak numbers. I'm actually gonna add new buildings. And then there's gonna be a machine era that will be sandwiched between industrial era and modern era. And the modern era will also be modified. There's quite a bit. But the fact that I'm already made those mods means it should be faster. And there are also a lot of other to-do lists. Like right now I have slaves, strategic resource, and they don't do anything yet. So I need to do something with that, do something with mercenaries. And currently I have this early maceman that doesn't upgrade to anything. So I'm gonna create a maceman line. I just need to figure out what I need to do in the industrial era. Because the idea is you'll have your early axe, axeman, early maceman, and then the idea is you'll get maceman in medieval, heavy maceman in Renaissance. I know it's weird when you have gunpowder, but we also have two-handed swords, so honestly I think it kind of fits. And then we're gonna have grenadier in the Enlightenment era. I haven't figured out what's gonna happen in industrial era, if the two will combine. I really dislike the Foreign Legion being moved forward, but honestly, the person who does it, that, yeah, we have a lot of disagreements regarding what should and shouldn't happen. And this is kind of why started my own mod because I'm like, I don't want to waste time arguing with those people because, yeah. So yeah, Enlightenment era. So the next one will have modified industrial, modified modern. There'll be a machine era between industrial and modern. That's at the very least, and that's quite a bit. There will be new units, new strategic resources, new buildings, a lot more new buildings. And then policies. Policies is interesting. So instead of the normal 5, you get actually throw in 6 more because there's more eras. Oh yeah, and now the Tree of Life actually give 1 culture. So from the start, you will actually start getting policies. Yeah, complete these to complete the policy trees. All of these are weaker, +1 food in the capital. Wow, you get a lot of food from tradition. Not surprise. Some of these might need to be rebalanced once I get to them. But yeah, a lot of them you could see similar, like culture cost, more population. You get your royal guardhouse, palace garden, state treasury, all of that. Some of them haven't changed much. Some of them has changed more drastically. Yeah, tradition and progress haven't changed too much. But authority has. So authority now, your main source of culture is gonna be from border expansions, which is actually a fair bit. Actually, that is something I need to look at because depending on how quickly they're getting culture, I may have to adjust the rate at which your border grows. Right now, it's 20 culture. If necessary, I will change the base and then maybe change the exponent slightly. Yeah, I will eventually need to get to hopefully a complete playthrough. Because right now I don't have any playtesters, I don't have any feedback. So right now I just want to get it to a certain state. Like right now I'm not happy about it because there are still so many things that aren't done. Oh yes, and authority, the finisher. Did I not? Give me a quick moment. That is very interesting. Okay, I will make a note of it. Authority finisher. Purchase discount. And once I see that, I will know. So, so authority will still be a war-heavy policy. So wars will be a lot tougher, and there'll probably be more barbarians. But the idea is that you will get more slaves, and you will also, yeah, it's not shown here. I think I modded it in. I just didn't change the text. But you will also get a discount from purchasing units. So what happens is authority will be better geared towards using mercenaries and using slave units. Those are things still to be added. That's why I'm not quite ready to try things out. But definitely, yeah, there will be a lot of rebalancing. And the UI is slightly broken, but it's still workable. Honestly, it's not that terrible. So I'm like, yeah, it's acceptable at this point. So, and then we have fealty, which hasn't changed much either. You get a bit more faith, and oh yeah, now you get quite a bit more food and strength. So if you want to grow your cities, fealty is the way to go. they're actually working on pressure. So once pressure is fixed, that plus 50% might be too much. We'll see. But this is a lot of food. You get food from scalar. You get more food from farms, which really adds up. And oh yeah, this was such a weird thing. I was like, why does fealty convert some of your happiness, 25% of your happiness, into culture? I'm like, it's not exactly a happiness focused. So I'm like, why not make it growth, right? You get a lot of food, you grow, you get culture. Makes more sense to me. I personally like that change quite a bit. And then I don't think anything else changed here. And then statecraft. Yeah, the statecraft changes happened last time, where you have chancellery and envoys available to statecraft. I did bring back this, but this was available in vanilla. It wasn't in VP. I'm like, why not give statecraft a bigger bonus towards city states, right? If your resting point is 20, then you can befriend or even ally city states easier. Why not, right? Like fealty will have quite a bit more food and more faith, so I have no issue with that. And then artistry, I have 2+1 food from specialists. Oh, and that's fine. So specialists will use up less food, and if you go artistry, you could use them more. A lot of the other thing hasn't really changed. I think the biggest game changer is probably this one, National Treasure, where you get 2 great people of your choice instead of the one. I think that will make some really interesting options available to the player, just because of the fact that, right, before it's like, okay, 1, but now you have 2. So you get 2 of the same, 2 of different ones. Depending on your game, it might even differ on what you prioritize. I think that's going to be interesting. I haven't worked on these yet. Oh yeah, I also haven't quite figured out what era these would be unlocked. More tests needed, especially since we have more of these. Yeah, we'll see. In addition to that, I'm also not quite sure, like, for these later eras that I have changed. For instance, I don't know if first column of Renaissance era, if 14 policies is reasonable, too much, too little. Yeah, these are things to be determined through testing. Probably by myself at this point. And so there's that, and then there's also UI takes a long time. And it's still broken. Though not like stupidly broken. And the other main thing is like leaders also have changes. Morocco, I just removed the rest, right? The can pillage without war. It seems silly, and also the AI doesn't know how to use it unless they happen to have a trade route that goes right through their unit. And if the condition is met, they will pillage it. Otherwise, they won't do it. And there's also that penalty thing. So I remove both of those. In terms of that's another thing. I want to do a regional military thing. I know it doesn't make sense, but once it's implemented, it will make more. So the idea is, once I get to it, I will work on regional unit for the civilizations, and then depending on their current unique ability, unique building, unique unit, and the regional unit, then all of them will get a new unique building that will hopefully somehow make them more balanced. It's a little tricky. It's on the to-do list. Greece didn't change Assyria slightly changed. Yeah. So conquering cities is a lot harder. I don't know in the current state how hard it is. So instead, I'm like, you know what? Let's give Assyria more science, so they get +1 science to council, library, university, and public school, which is actually quite a boost. So it will add up, especially if they go wide. Songhai, it's very interesting. Like a lot of the warmonger ones, Songhai, Iroquois, or Iroquois, I still don't know. It's the proper pronunciation. They haven't changed. The Huns, right? Huns, Songhai haven't changed. Rome, yeah, Rome. I just decided to remove it because I really don't like. Are you building the game out of your own rules and mods? Hey, Fly, Eagle, Fly, how are you doing? I am using Vox Populi and building on top of that mod. So yes. Yes, I am adding things, changing things. So yeah, how are you doing? And as for rules, I mean rules don't change that much unless I really dig in and go into the, the like open the black box and see what's inside. But yeah, otherwise the rules haven't really changed much. But I guess Vox Populi did change a lot. Yeah, no, it's just, I mean we all have our like ideal version of Civ, so instead of hoping someone put something in, I decided to mod it in. That's all. Are you a modder or are you just a Civ enthusiast? But yeah, with Rome, I really dislike the capture enemy cities. You keep all of their buildings. There are some crazy things you can do if you get their unique buildings. So I'm like, let's scrap that. Make them be able to produce a lot more in the capital. I mean, honestly, they have a lot of strong tools. So that's actually fine. Germany slightly nerfed. Yeah, I need to play that diplomatic game. So many things to do. Just enjoy Civ. Awesome. Which Civ is your favorite? I've heard a lot of Civ 4s and Civ 5s. Civ 6 is interesting, but Civ 6 is also, yeah, in terms of modding, is not quite there. Yeah, all the details, all the strategy, like once it comes together, especially when you have amazing mods, like suddenly you have this completely different game that adds so much more time. But yeah, Poland got changed. They get better mines. Oh man, they get a free policy every other era. I mean, it's decent, but man, is it boring. It's like, oh, hey, look, I get a free policy, great. And I pick mines kind of because Poland under Casimir III became strong because of their salt mines. So I didn't pick it randomly. I like 4 and 5 definitely, but 6 has some weird changes. I personally think, well, there's a couple of things. Like for Civ 6, they have a lot of really cool ideas. They just have, it's just their AI is so stupid they can't use it properly. And if the if you're playing single player and the AI can't play well, unless you give them so many bonuses, I mean at that point it just isn't fun for me. And they also haven't released a DLL for Civ 6, which actually really hinders modding for that game, and it does seem like the modding environment has kind of stagnated for Civ 6. At least that's how I view it. Oh yeah, Russia is a big one. Before they have double all strategic resources. That is stupidly strong. I never quite understand it, especially it's like double paper. It's like, why? So now they have specific strategics that are doubled. I feel that's better. But yeah, I never really got into Civ 4. That's why I'm kind of like never really got into the Doom stacks versus 1 unit per tile, because that's apparently a big thing that divides the player base. Good ideas, poor execution. I agree. I like single player and the AIs. Yeah, right. It's either you give them so many bonuses that it's hard to catch up, or they just don't do well, and then you just reach a certain point. If you're ahead of them, you basically win. That's kind of why I like Vox Populi, because some of the people did the heavy lifting and fixed the AI. So now I could just build on top of that, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. Carthage. This is gonna be interesting. Fishing boat's a bit stronger. I mean, is Carthage ever that weak? Not really. England is also an interesting thing. Yeah, especially since they changed the spy system. Oh yeah, what mods do you play with? Fly Go Fly. I'm curious. And do you play more of 4 or 5 right now? I'm guessing. I mean, given how long games last, you're probably playing one or the other. It would be weird if you're trying to alternate between both, because they're different enough that you might go back to the game. You're like, I don't remember where I left things off. Yeah, England, I just decided to give them some more production. Go to coastal buildings, in docks, lighthouse, harbor, dry dock, seaport. Hopefully it's not too strong. The thing with Carthage is that after the first city, the next city they'll get like Bronze Era or Ancient Era, so that's like Era 2 or 3. You could get 30 or 45 gold. 5 usually. Okay. And any mods, or do you like the vanilla? I don't think I could go back to vanilla anymore. Indonesia, yeah, they don't need other bonuses. Honestly, getting one of the 3 unique luxuries is pretty strong itself. India, they might be close to fixing the bug that's plaguing India with pressure, but just feel like a bit more faith to shrines, cheaper, great profits, converting 50% citizens. Yeah, that should be good. But like I said, there's a lot of tests to be done. Yeah, warmongers, don't have to touch them. I mean, Rome isn't even a warmonger, but their bonus kind of works best if you are a warmonger. Ethiopia removed the faith from strategics. Didn't even make much sense. I like the giant world maps. Man, there are so many mods. Yep. That's like what happens when you release the DLL. Because suddenly like so many mods are possible. It's almost impossible to go through all of them. So yeah, you do have to kinda, I mean, it's almost like a buffet, right? You have all of these choices, and now you have to pick some of them because they don't all work well. So good luck. Denmark, I didn't change. Arabia, I did change. I removed the historic events give culture and science. That would be real powerful, especially with the earlier. Well, there's entering the new eras. So new eras means, especially early on, the extra science and culture will just push Arabia, propel them to be the leader. And there's also more wonders. So right now, I make up for it by once they get palaces, they'll be stronger. So they will be propelled, but not as bad. And then, yeah, Iroquois didn't change. Oh, Spain. I hated Spain as a modder because their unique ability was implemented so messy. I was like, what the hell is that? Oh man, it was ugly. I mean, people don't see it, but when you look at the code, you're like, that is not a great implementation. Hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. But yeah, don't mind me. I'm just kind of talking about the changes I've made. So yeah, if you never play my mod, none of this would make much sense. But if you played like Vox Populi, some of it might make sense because I am building off it. But eventually, I'll diverge far enough that the two will probably don't look very similar. But yeah, now Spain. I mean, you're gonna get your totem +5 faith, +5 gold. It should get you religion. 5 faith is a lot. And I need to test to purchase naval units with faith. I wonder if the cost is too much or too little. It's hard because Spain is the only civ that can purchase naval units. They just have a bit less food from fishing boats and tolls. That's another big one. For civilization that rely on trade, caravans, and cargo ships. I'll get there. And then this, yeah, if I want to change that, I will have to go into TLL. What mods do you like? I mean, I've been playing mostly Vox Populi. It's an overhaul mod that adds a lot more things and then lets you build on top of it. I haven't really played a lot of other mods. I mean, I've seen other mods, but I'm like, yeah. It's just that each game takes so long, so it's like for me it's very hard to get bored with an overhaul mod and then be like, okay, what other mods can I add? Unless of course I'm like, oh, I have this idea, what if this happened? And so that's how my modding journey began. I'm like, why not add this? Why not add that? And then yeah, it's going. Aztecs didn't change that. I don't even remember if I changed the percentage. France, Great War gain culture and production, so now they don't have to capture city to gain great writers, artists, and musicians, and a production boost. Yeah, no, honestly, Vox Populi is mostly what I played, and it has enough content to just last a long time. Babylon didn't change. Japan, well, at least now Japan and France is a bit more different. Mayans is gonna be interesting because I don't know if they're nerfed or not. Because if I move the technologies earlier, they could get more great people. We'll see. Inca they don't get gold and signs from mountains anymore. But honestly, with their latest change to spawning near or in mountains, they are pretty strong. I don't know if they need a boost. No change. Now horses are doubled. Got rid of the ruin. Most people don't play with the ruins. Ruins are just not balanced. Not even in Vox Populi. Egypt no longer get bonuses from landmarks. It's just so late. and I don't know how to balance that. Maybe I'll revisit it. So I am more yields might do it, because I did increase the yields you get from these say allies and friends. Korea got nerfed. Yeah, no, they were way too strong. There's so many bonuses. No wonder Korea always excelled in my games. But Web Zulu didn't change. Ottomans reduced yields 17. America reduce yield. Reduce yield. Yeah. The China change was, I mean, it was unique, but man, I didn't like it. In case you're curious, fly eagle fly, I added Neolithic era, Copper era, Bronze era. I added a bunch of new units and buildings to. This was Ancient era, now it's Iron era. And then I tweaked all the numbers of the buildings, added some more wonders, or at least imported them from one of the mods for Vox Populi. I've also got a VP compatible Enlightenment era. Made some changes. There will be more changes coming here. Industrial era, modern era will be going through a pretty big change. The next patch, I'm also gonna add a machine era in between there. Yeah, a lot of things to do. That's why I have like no time to playtest. Well, eventually I'll get to a time. But right now I have a lot of things. I have like slave strategic resources that don't do anything yet, so that has to be done. I have a mercenary thing I need to make. The AI, the UI doesn't look great, but right now there are like 11 policies for these trees. I haven't gotten to industrial imperialism and rationalism yet. Yes, I'm hoping it'll be fun, but balancing will be nightmare. But I personally think it's gonna be worth it. So yeah, I have like bonus resources reveal as slavery, luxury reveal that mercenaries, and forces and iron reveal that organized warfare. So technically, if I set things up properly, you could start in Iron Era and it would just feel like a normal game. But yeah. But yeah, as I was gonna say, China had a very unique ability where it actually grows weaker with each era, which I'm like, it's it's a fun idea, it's an interesting idea. Balance wise, it's terrible. Like why should you get weaker, right? I mean, I admit their unique ability is already pretty strong, but I still don't like that. But yeah, that's basically the thing I've been doing. I need to fix that. This was a recent. See, one of the thing is Vox Populi is still getting updated, so if they make certain changes, it will show up, and I need to fix it. So like, construction in Vox Populi is supposed to be here. They wanted to make clear in March sooner, but I moved construction here, so now I have to fix it. But overall, it's fine. And then, yeah, regarding slave units, my concept is don't use military supply. Cheaper, no maintenance, just weaker as a whole. Mercenaries, I'm still undecided if they should cost more maintenance. It will make sense, but then I will have to make them stronger. they'll have to be purchased by gold only. And then normal units. That's a unit. Also need to create Maceman line all the way to Enlightenment era. Industrial era, yeah, that's gonna be a big overhaul. Because for the next patch, that plan, I want to add in energy strategic resource to manufacturing. So all of these buildings will require power, and you will need certain buildings that produces power. Just like coal makes energy, then allows you to build buildings. There will also be steel that's used to make ironclads and cruisers. And there will be ammunition. For strategics. Energy to power buildings. Ammunition for land, archer, melee, and gunpowder units. Explosives for siege units. Steel for naval units. I do remember in my early iteration, I did make fuel. I wonder. Do I want to convert oil to fuel, and then fuel will be used to make armor units and air units. Yeah, that's something. The reason why I have no issue with energy is because coal could turn into energy, oil could turn into energy, so there'll be different sources. And eventually there'll be, and this is really far, I don't even remember. Eventually there'll be these power plants. I haven't played this late for so long, I don't even remember where they're at. Yeah, all of these will produce more energy. And there'll be more luxuries. Is there such thing as too many chicks? Oh, we'll find out. Because I've already added slaves. If I add energy, ammunition, explosives, steel. Maybe I don't add fuel. 4, 5. Because there is limited space to how much you can hold. I guess technically, if necessary, I can always adjust this. So if someone plays with a smaller screen resolution, yeah. I mean, that's what happened when I played a Civ on my laptop. My laptop screen was smaller, so everything was crunched together. This is also too high for supply. Maybe I'll decrease. I'm thinking of adding a manpower thing, but yeah, that's gonna be hard. That is not gonna be a quick change. So in the works will be machine era, industrial, modern era, change, add a digital era between modern era and atomic era, and then maybe change information era to something else, and then just add more eras afterwards. I mean, the main thing is like, can I help make the game remain engaging at that point? Because there are some limitations with Civ 5, particularly what do you call it? Particularly I'm thinking of adding like climate change where tiles become something else. But apparently you have to reload the game for it to update the challenge and stuff. Alright, something else. Promotions. Oh man, working on promotions, changing them up. That's gonna be a whole reworking and stuff. I might do it in section. There might be certain promotions that are only available up to the end of Bronze Era, and then starting from Iron Era, there'll be like new promotions available. It's all doable. I've done some version of it. Now I just had to get a more polished, something that suits this better. Then yeah, at that point I will be looking at all the units. Some of them have some really weird, like here's sieging accuracy, cover 1. A lot of those are gonna get changed. And that's why I don't have time to test play, because I have way too many things I want to implement before I want to test play, because I feel like, especially the early game, is not quite ready yet. I know I will never be perfect, but there are definitely certain things I want to add in and try out, because I don't know how long a game will be if I were to reach, say, enlightenment. We'll see. Anyways, this is just a fairly quick recap of the changes I made in the recent patch. I mean, this video is gonna come out later, but if anyone's interested, that's a different matter. But anyways, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you, Fly Equals Fly, for hanging along. If you're still there, thank you for the follow. Thank you for chatting. I hope you have a good one, and maybe see you in the future. Yeah, I don't stream Civ much because I spend most of the time modding, and it's not fun to watch. But I do this from time to time, and hopefully eventually I'll get to the point where I can actually play tests and then find bugs and be like, well, let's do that. Let's fix it and then start another game. But anyways, I am going to end the stream here. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you have a good one. Bye.